My name is James, and today I'll be your guide for an overview of Menlo Security's email isolation products, Secure Office 365, and Secure G Suite. The success of our cloud proxy and isolation platform have allowed us to partner with 8 of the 10 largest global banks and be designated visionary by Gartner in their Magic Quadrant for secure web gateways. And one of the reasons that we've done so well in the past several years is that cyber attacks are more efficient and effective than they have ever been. Email is the #1 vector for cyber attacks like credential phishing, malware, and business email compromise. Phishing through email works because the tactic targets the most vulnerable part of an organization, its own distracted workers. Now, for most users, an email consists of 3 main parts: the text that you read, the links that you click on, and attachments that you download. The text you read is essentially harmless, but attachments can not so subtly insert malware into your system, and email links can send you to bad places on the internet for phishing attacks. The image you see was taken from a Google study between 2006 and 2019. Phishing attacks, in particular, are on the rise, with 92% of all data breaches arising from phishing, according to a 2019 Verizon report. Of note was the abuse of legitimate cloud services, such as Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and others, often used in multi-stage attacks. And fake websites are getting better. Here is an example of a 2020 phishing website for Office 365 credentials. Yes, there are differences in the website, but without the aid of a side-by-side comparison, the fake website could easily be mistaken for the real website by a distracted employee. A single attack can be brutal. The cost of a breach is almost $4 million on average per successful attack. In 2019, Menlo prevented over 1,000 phishing attacks in 6 months, working with a single partner. That's over $4 billion of costs that we potentially prevented from going into the hands of bad guys. Now, we've done this by pointing an entire business's traffic to a single point in the cloud, and then protecting that single point with cloud-based isolation. And we've applied that principle of isolation to create our products Secure Office 365 and Secure G Suite. By deploying Menlo into their email flow, our customers isolate email links and attachments to protect against phishing attacks, malicious websites, and infected attachments. All email links are opened in isolation to prevent exposure to fraudulent sites or those exhibiting malicious behavior. Attachments are viewed safely in the cloud without the user having to open the original file on the endpoint. Deployment in the cloud is simple, requires no MX record change, and you can keep your Office 365 or G Suite security enabled as usual. Importantly, we offer cloud-based and on-prem deployments. Our cloud isolation technology stops phishing by placing suspicious websites into a read-only mode to prevent users from entering sensitive information into fake websites. The read-only banner at the bottom of the fake website indicates that the site is unsafe and was placed there by Menlo Security. To protect your global workforce, our elastic, highly available cloud offers many points of presence globally for direct-to-internet connectivity to help reduce the burden of traffic heading back to HQ. And for large remote workforces, our global cloud proxy enables us to extend our protection wherever you are. From working with customers over the last few years, it helped us to identify 3 top use cases. Email attachment and link isolation helps us to prevent ransom and malware from harming the network. Our products also help reduce MPLS costs and enable faster app setup if everything is set up for direct-to-internet connectivity. And finally, our cloud-managed dashboard helps admins modify policies at the user and network level, and our dashboard is cloud managed and helps you understand how your network operates. Secure Office 365 and Secure G Suite are part of a larger suite of products designed to protect web and email. Notably, These two products represent the same package of features, but applied to different SaaS products. Now let's take a moment to review the features of this product. Email link isolation offers 100% protection against email-based malware. We help admins control how users interact with the links with options for read-only, read-write, direct connect, or block. And all of these policies can be applied per user or group. Email attachment isolation inspects and isolates content before reaching the endpoint. You can open, view, and print PDFs in a safe cloud environment. For users who prefer an abundance of caution, we also provide antivirus scanning and sandboxing. Connect, protect, and manage access to the WAN by using our cloud proxy for network security. You can prevent and block users from visiting certain sites by address, domain, or category with URL filtering, and we enable you to throttle streaming sites like YouTube so that you can reduce non-work-related traffic. Inspect and remove hidden malware from encrypted traffic with SSL inspection. Block traffic based on source or destination IP address and set default rules for opening encrypted documents. Go deeper into insights with our reporting and analytics tools. We help you analyze data with pre-built custom queries. We also provide API for further data integrations. Our Cloud Data Loss Prevention Service, or Cloud DLP, stops data from leaving the company through the web. The software determines whether the content conforms to certain standards deemed sensitive by the company, and then blocks the transfer and notifies IT. This will help you comply with HIPAA, PCI, and GDPR standards. And now we have the Menlo dashboard. Our theme today is granularity and scope. It will come up often in the presentation, and if you have participated in other sessions, you may have heard this before. The graphs are movable and allow you to travel backward up to 30 days to view the attacks encountered by your network. To read our pie graphs, start to where the noon hour hand would be and read clockwise. Flash, uncategorized sites, risky files, and phishing. Now, a Verizon study found that phishing accounts for 92% of attacks globally. So let's click on phishing to get a good idea of the types of attacks prevented by our system. And drilling down, we can see every prevented phishing attempt on the network in the last 30 days. Once a request is logged, you can then see the attempt by user. Now for a single user, let's drill down to the spreadsheet log. To the right, you see the Edit button. And this allows us to set policy by domain, threat type, user agent, browser, and more. Let's set this domain to isolate and read only. Save, and then publish. For users interested in granular access control for every network user, Menlo Security provides the management tools you need to secure your system. And something that I would like to point out is that all of this is done from the Logs panel. Now that we've learned to drill down, let's zoom out to the main page dashboard to talk about scope. On the overview page, we can see the top navigation panel that hits at many of our cloud proxy features that are shared across the ecosystem. Specifically, the dashboard tabs of threat, traffic, and bandwidth analysis are related to our cloud proxy. The email analysis and traffic tabs are related to Secure G Suite and Secure Office 365 products. DLP analysis relates to our DLP product. To the left, we have our side panel, and a quick disclaimer, I'm working from a fully loaded dashboard as of April 2020, so depending on your deployment, some of these features may or may not be visible. The product tabs on the side panel are Web, Email, and DLP Policy. Logs, Insights, and reporting are very useful to understand the health of your system. Let's go to the logs real quick. And as a reminder, we earlier went here to modify some of our user settings. The Insights tab is where you build SQL-like queries that you can use for reporting. This one is done weekly. And to view those reports, we go to Reporting and Risk Report, where we can download. Now to set up email isolation. The main goal of our secure email products are to block malicious attachments and stop users from falling victim to phishing attacks. We'll be demoing both in a little while. For attachment rules, we allow you to create policies for attachments entering the network. We sandbox attachments in our isolation cloud and then enable most documents to be viewed without ever being downloaded onto the machine. To set up attachment rules, let's go to Email Settings, Attachment Isolation and Analysis. Add new rule. Let's put Safe Excel for everybody, going to everybody else. Next, we want to highlight Excel here. Next, and in this case, it's currently allow, so let's go ahead and place it with isolation with Save PDF. And save. So now we've created a policy that will place all incoming attachments from Excel into isolation, and then prompt the user to print out a safe PDF. And more generally, we have instructed the cloud with how to handle this type of content, and that can be pushed to all users across various document types. One of the most underrated features in our dashboard is the ability to message the user when they click on a link leading them to a restricted website from email. Now, a good test case for link isolation is stopping the ability of workers from logging into any URL with PayPal in the email link, a common tool used by cybercriminals. Go to Users, and then select Add Users List. Save, and save changes. And now I've created a user with just myself. Please note that you do have the ability to add an entire email list if you would like. Next, let's go to Email Policy. Choose Link Isolation. To begin, we're going to add a new rule and name that rule Prevent PayPal Login via Email for James. Description, no PayPal for James. And down here for the attribute, we're going to select Users, Contains, and then we're going to remember the email address that we logged into the other place. In this case, James Locust at Menlo Demo 365. Now, what we want to do here is to prevent us from logging into potentially dangerous phishing websites that are trying to disguise themselves as a PayPal website, which often has PayPal in the actual URL address. So for high-risk websites, we're going to offer that as a coaching opportunity, but still block it outright. For medium risk websites, we're going to offer an education opportunity, but allow it to read only. And for basic websites, we're going to keep it as read write only with an option to directly connect. And there we go. We've prevented PayPal login via email for James when PayPal is in the URL. Save changes, and then we're done with Publish. We skipped over how to point the browser to our proxy, so we'll go ahead and cover that now. We'll set up two browsers, the one to the left is our Chrome browser. That is directly connecting to the internet. And the one to the right is our Menlo browser in orange that's going through our Menlo cloud. To set up the proxy, what we'll want to do is get the proxy address. This is the internet address that is the location of the proxy in the cloud. For here, I have one already loaded. But if you would like to find it in the dashboard, you can go to Settings, Proxy Auto Config. And in this case, we are using the standard definition that's located right here. Go to Network Settings. It's currently set to not proxy. Let's go ahead and set it to automatically go to our proxy servers here, and then click OK. And that's it. We have now isolated the browser to the right in orange. And to the left, this is an unisolated browser. So what this allows us to do is to show you back to back what happens when we go to the different pages. So I pulled up a test email from PayPal so that we can have a direct browser to browser comparison with link isolation. Now, as you may remember, we previously set up a policy to restrict PayPal from email. Now, for the browser that allows the direct connect, it goes right to PayPal. However, based on our policy, PayPal is now blocked coming from email. But importantly, the website itself, PayPal, is not blocked. So again, just to show that, from email, that particular link is blocked. However, accessing it directly from the URL toolbar, we can go right there. And with that, let's head back in to the slide deck presentation. Now let's wrap things up with a review of our product suite. Our Cloud Proxy and Isolation Core form the basis of many of our services here at Menlo Security. Cloud Proxy is the foundation of Menlo, and that allows us to unite an entire company's traffic to a single point where we can then secure that point. We can then protect your network with our Secure Web Gateway, which features our Isolation Core. Each of our products, from Secure Internet, Secure Office 365, Secure G Suite, and more, are built upon our Cloud Proxy and Isolation Core. Our Cloud Data Loss Prevention product, or Cloud DLP, can then be added to any product or service. That's it for today, and thank you very much for attending this on-demand presentation. If you would like to talk with us more, please call the number on your screen or email us. We have additional resources about each of our products at our resource page, and if you would like to attend additional webinars, please continue with the link provided on your screen there.